Hello my Mumbaikar friends. The recent controversy, or rather the problems which people faced when the Indigo flights had a problem, it's really covered a lot many days. Now it's already 3-4 days that the controversy for the flights and the DGCA. The DGCA is nothing else but Director General Civil Aviation. They have made some rules which were put in the year 2024 and they had given an ultimatum for November this year, but still they could not really get over with it. One of the main reasons for that is 63% of the total passenger load for the domestic sector is being picked up by Indigo. Air India is hardly 30-31%, then Akasa and everybody, the rest of it. So the major problem was with Indigo. Though the indications were that it would be enforced in the month of November, not that much was done by the Indigo flight people. Or rather it was taken for granted that okay, it is a government thing, we will try to overcome it. Just to put facts together, every Air India flight, Air India Vistara, these flights, each airline will invariably have 13 pilots attached to it. Means that's the average. But Indigo, being a lean airline, they always prefer to keep it in a lean situation, and they have only 8 or maximum 9 pilots per flight. That is a per aeroplane situation.
Why Indigo is making profits? They made a profit of something like 8,000 crores last year, when Air India made a loss of 4,000 crores and Akasa, I think, around 2,000 crores of loss.
So the reason why Indigo has been so prolific in their profit making is because they keep everything lean. In one of the write-ups which I had read, Indigo has got a policy that if you can reach 10 minutes early in any flight or flight schedule, it turns out to be 200 flights per year extra for the airline. Why am I telling you this? Is because we have to understand that Indigo, being a profit-making airline, also has its own pauses and the clauses which go along with that. There's no time for the pilots, the crew members and things like that. 36 hours was the mandated thing. That 36 hours was the previous norm, and 48 hours was the one where they needed to rest their pilots and the crew members. I think it was more for the pilots rather than the crew members. One more thing which was told by the DGCA or mandated by the DGCA was the minimum flights or the maximum flights which anybody can, the pilots can take, which are known as night landings. They had changed it from a particular number from 4 to 2, and that is for the safety of the passengers overall. Operational collapse and unpreparedness. The new rules directly translate to one thing: fewer available flying hours per pilot. Pilots timing out. A minor delay could push a pilot's duty beyond the new legal FDTL limits, forcing the cancellation of the subsequent sector immediately. The scheduling domino. There is always a domino effect where the schedule, for one schedule because of weather or whatever, goes into a crashing situation. Even if it goes up by half an hour, the whole schedule, because these are whatever number of flights they are operating on that sector or that day, will all get affected. And this actually started in the month of November. Now we are in December, so one would start thinking, why did it happen in December? The winter schedule, which started in the month of December and which would roll over to I think February, and that's the schedule. But they approved it when they knew they don't have those many pilots. Why did they allow that thing to happen? Now this is a very stupid kind of a situation, because DGCA is not paying attention to what is available, to what can be achieved. Number one. Number two, the thing is that Indigo took it for granted that they can always overcome these kind of situations. which is not a very good thing, but this is having a domino effect on everybody. You can see the number of people who are inconvenienced and n number of problems. Some people could not go for their own marriage. Some people could not go for their exam. Some people could not go for their interview. All these problems could have been avoided. Anyway, DGCA has now put in a situation that, okay, they've extended the validity of the penalizing position, and they have, means at whose cost? At yours and my cost. It is more because of people, the safety regulations. Why did they put in that? That was for safety. Now they are themselves saying that, okay, we'll allow it for some time. Who are they playing with? It's yours and my security. It's yours and my life. So we'll have to take care of that as soon as possible. Now what happens in this scenario? Are you entitled for some compensation if the flight is delayed or cancelled or whatever? Yes, you are. Of course, number one is the refund, and then there is a compensation. But anyway, in India, it hardly matters whether it be the US or the European sector. They will have to give you accommodation, though that is part of the whole scenario where the contract is that in case so and so 4 hours delay and 2 hours delay, 12 hours delay, you must get a good compensation, but which rarely happens in India. And that makes it more difficult and more susceptible to any kind of future thing. Now let us see how these things work out. Though one mention is to be made, that is the Luthras. You know those people from Goa, the place where it burned down and things like that, 28, 29 people died. But the Luthras got a flight which was incidentally Indigo. Now it's so funny that here the whole complete scenario of the aviation industry is in a turmoil. But he gets a flight which goes to Phuket. Direct flight going to Phuket. Now, how does that happen? You got a government which is BJP in Goa and the same thing in the center. But these people have allowed it. These are the major issues which put a lacuna to what we have as a democracy, where you have got the power, you've got the right. Otherwise, you can see what's happening on the airports. Hopefully this thing, of course, Indigo is saying we'll try to regularize everything by February. Till that what? Where do we go from there? It's rather stupid, but it's true. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Mahan.